I'm joined today by the one and only Barbara Weaver Smith. Barbara is founder and CEO of the Whale Hunters. And I'm very excited to talk about her newest venture, which is called the Whale Hunters Institute. And Barbara, it's just such a pleasure to have you here today.
Oh, Lori, I'm really excited to be here with you on your podcast, which I can't believe I haven't been on it before now
I know.
because we've been friends for so long.
So long. Exactly. I feel like I don't know. It all melds together some days.
Yeah,
But I'm so excited for you. And you're doing some really cutting edge things, which I want to talk about because
great.
this can help everyone else. One of the things about the Conversations with Women in Sales podcast is, of course, that we highlight amazing women that are doing amazing things like yourself. But also, if we're able to teach a little bit about sales or process or tools, that's even better. And
Yeah,
we have it all covered today because not only are you amazing, your topic about bigger deals, bigger customers with the whale hunter system is phenomenal unto itself. We could just talk about that, but we're also going to talk about your new institute that's online and you're utilizing AI with it. And we are just really going to talk about the whole thing. So does that sound
great.
good?
Sounds terrific. Yes, Lori.
That's great. So how did you start with the idea of well hunters sometime?
But I already had a company at the time, it was called Smith Weaver Smith. And I had mostly been working in the not for profit arena, doing big deals, but they were like community deals with universities and libraries and schools and big, messy deals, which is what got me into big deals to begin with. But then my original partner, Tom Searcy, with whom I wrote the whale hunting book, he had the idea that he was consulting at the time in sales, and he had the idea that whale hunting might be a metaphor for sales. And some people had introduced us and said we ought to know each other, which was true, we should. And so in about 2006, we formed the Whale Hunters brand, and our book Whale Hunting came out in 2008. So in
I remember.
2009, I bought out Tom's interest in the company. So it's been Larry's and mine
Since
since
then.
then, but Tom was involved in the original thinking. So he and I built out the whole metaphor, and we built out the whole whale hunting process, which is essentially the big picture of it. It's scout, hunt, harvest. And it's loosely based on how the Inuit people hunted whales. So it's about ordinary people doing extraordinary things that are big.
That is so awesome.
And the key point of it is you have to do it collaboratively. That's one differentiating factor about whale hunting, is it's not
Right.
just a lone rock star salesperson, it's a team. The whole company gets involved in whale hunting.
And there's not much extra effort to do a big deal than to do a small deal. Would you agree?
I do agree with that. Yes, it's certainly not proportionally harder. We talk about trying to do deals that are 10 to 20 times your current average deal. And people who do whale hunting, their average deal continues to grow and the smaller deals tend to fall off. But so it is harder than doing a more transactional deal, but it's not 10 times or 20 times harder. It's just maybe 2 or 3 times harder. And more than harder, it usually just takes longer because there's so many people involved.
Got it. And so recently, I know you've sold tens of thousands of books and you've done tons of programs on this, but recently you started an institute called the Whale Hunters Institute. Tell us
Right.
about that and
Okay.
what you're so excited about.
Yeah. It's an online membership site that in various formats contains most of the whale hunters knowledge base. It will continue to grow. So it doesn't have everything, but right now it has 14 courses, including all of the, excuse me, all of the courses that make up what we call whale hunting fundamentals. So everything you would need individually to be a whale hunter or to get your company engaged in whale hunting is available there. Plus audio tips, all my blog posts, 400 articles plus We're doing a weekly live big ticket talk where you can ask questions on your own deals if you want to, or listen to other people. It has discussion forums and groups. And so, for example, if one company enrolls several people, they can have their own private group and their own private discussions about what they're learning.
What a great idea.
And I think
But
the most exciting, go ahead, I'm sorry.
I was gonna say, but you haven't touched on it yet. You have a bot. You have Barbara AI,
Yes, that is the key piece that the of the institute, and it's called Barbara AI, and literally a clone of me, a professional clone of me. And I have taught it by uploading materials. It knows all of the whale hunters' knowledge base, and it is designed to be programmed to be a coach. So anyone who's a member of the institute can interact with Barbara AI 24/7, 365 days a year, doesn't get tired on any whale hunting topic. So anything that you would be learning in a course, if you want more explanation, or if you want another example, or if you want to know, how am I going to implement this? That's the kind of questions that this clone can answer. Really detailed, meaningful answers. So to me, it just explodes the value of self-learning or online learning.
yeah, and I love that because I've been in learning for a long time, in the last
Mhm.
20 years at least, and there have been crude recordings, if you're doing online training, for example, and there could be some recorded follow-up or some options, but this is like ChatGPT, right? This is
Yes, it is. Yes, it's
it
built on the same methodology, the same language learning, with the big distinction that it has all of my intellectual property that the internet doesn't have.
which is amazing. So you're the first person, first company that I know to have done this, and I think this really
Oh,
fantastic. So for our listeners, you can be a pioneer like Barbara. And this didn't, I just think about your roots, Barbara. You came from university background. You were a
exactly.
professor for a number of
Yeah.
years, right? Tell us a
Yeah.
little bit about what you did previously.
I was an English prof, actually, and people wanna know, how did you get from an English prof to a owner of a sales business? And the only way I can really figure that out is that as a graduate student, I studied Aristotle, and Aristotle is like the father of sales, the father of persuasion. So I do think I had a strong background in mostly understanding human behavior as it relates to getting things that you want or exchanging value. That's theoretical. I was a professor. I was an academic dean for a while, and then moved into the not for profit world. I was president of a statewide not for profit in Indiana that had connections to the National Endowment for the Humanities and also the State Arts Council. So it was a very interactive job, and our our mission was to amplify the humanities, civic behavior, in community life in Indiana. And so I worked with all of the other cultural not-for-profits and with the universities and schools, and we were always doing some big messy deal. Like we did a traveling exhibit around the state of all the ways that Indiana is connected internationally to the rest of the world. And we did every year we had a big collection of famous authors that we brought in, and lots of stuff like that. It was big and messy. And so I really loved doing the deals, although I got tired of the not-for-profit world because there are often a lot of restrictions in what you can do or how fast you can do it. When I left that, I that's when Larry and I started our business. And Larry has also been a professor his whole career, and he has done an amazing amount of research. So he and I still work together, although I do most of the whale hunting, but he does research for our clients. And so we started a company that would assist with his consulting, and also, and I thought at some time I'd do something with it. And then I decided to leave my job, and then I had to do something with it right then.
So you dove in.
I dove in to do I was doing that same kind of work just as a consultant around the state, and until I ran into Tom Searcy, as that's the story I already told. So
Yeah,
that was the genesis of whale hunting.
that's great. We can actually try out Barbara AI, can't we?
I think we can,
We're gonna,
yes.
we're gonna try it on here. So we're on Barbara's website, and she's gonna set it up so that I can ask her. I can ask a question because I'm not a member yet of her community, but I plan to join. And when you're ready, then I'll ask my question.
Okay. Let me just say a couple things. There are
Okay.
several ways you can interact with Barbara AI. I'm going to show you the most fun way because this is as if you're having a phone call, just a conversation and everybody is speaking. But you can also type things in and get typewritten answers. And when you get a typewritten answer, it's all documented as to the sources. So that I think that's helpful for people. But however you like to do that kind of stuff, I really think the phone call is the most fun. So I'm going to start it. And when you see that it's ready, the auditory
Okay.
signal comes on, then you can ask your question.
Okay. What do I do when a deal gets stuck?
When a deal gets stuck, first take a deep breath and remember that patience is key. It's important to reassess the situation calmly. Reflect on the reasons why the deal might be stalling. Is it a lack of information, miscommunication, or perhaps a change in the prospect's priorities? Reach out to your contact with a helpful attitude, offering assistance and clarity on any points that might be causing hesitation. Sometimes a simple, honest conversation can reignite momentum. Also, consider if there's an opportunity to provide additional value or reassurance that addresses their concerns directly. Remember, persistence and understanding go a long way in navigating these waters. Have you had a chance to review any strategies or courses on handling stalled deals? They might offer some fresh perspectives or techniques you haven't tried yet.
Wow, that's so
I'm going to
great.
stop it there, but I do just want to make the point that because this is a coach, he will always ask a question at the end of the answer that it's provided to try to get you thinking more about your own situation and diving deeper into the topic.
Phenomenal. That is really exciting. What has the what have you heard so far? Are people excited to see this as excited as I am?
I don't know if they're as excited as you are, but people are very excited about it. It's so new. It really, having the chance to show it to people is, I think, what's really going to make the difference. Once they see it, they do think it's phenomenal.
Yeah, and the value in getting coaching on a large deal
Mhm.
is it's hard to put a number on it, but it's worth
Right.
a ton. It's potentially
Yeah.
millions of dollars.
Yeah.
Um,
If we wanted to put a number on it for this purpose, $29 a month for founding members. So
I
I
like
think
that.
it's a real bargain.
Count me in. I'm
Great.
definitely
Yeah.
there. So that's wonderful. What do you think that I've done a lot with women in sales and you
Right.
another thing that I didn't mention about you is that you're also a writer and you ghostwrite and you write for people and you help me with my book she sells.
Great book. Yeah.
Thank you. Uh, what do you think we do you think AI will help get more women into sales, or do you think it's anything any relation to tools to help us to get more parity in an industry that's just such a male majority industry?
Yeah, I think a lot of women are consultants, a lot of women are trainers, a lot of women are coaches. And for this particular application, a cloning application, people who have written things down have the advantage because that's the main way that you train. I also think women are patient, and this is not a short term project. It takes a while to get this set up. I think it will amplify many things that we do. I've always been an early adopter of technology, always. And I just can think of so many ways that it's been helpful to me and leveled the playing field for me from when I was back in school. I went to college as a non traditional student, already married, already had kids.
Mm,
And so When I finally earned my PhD and got a full-time university job, I was 10 years behind men of my age. So
Right.
I've always been interested in what kind of tools can now I'm looking for tools that give me an edge. Then I was looking for tools that just would accelerate my career
Oh, wow.
plan because I was already behind.
Oh, that's phenomenal.
I was already too old to get the Young Faculty Award, things like that. You know how that goes.
I know. I
Yeah.
know that. That's good. I just want to say about a little more about the Institute. It says it's an online membership site specializing in helping sales professionals land big accounts. You have a curated library of materials, courses, videos, tools, etc. And I'll be sharing more about this because I think it's phenomenal. It's new, it's different. You're applying technology to solve a problem, which is to help train sellers who don't have the knowledge that we all need to close big deals. And big deals are where the big opportunities are. Where can people find you, Barbara? Can they connect with you on LinkedIn?
Yes, they can. And also visit the website, thewhalehunters.com. And the Institute is prominently featured on the front page.
That is fantastic. Barbara Weaver Smith, thank you so much. It's always a pleasure to talk with you. I always learn a lot and I hope to continue to do so. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Lori. It's been a pleasure to be with you.